Hey everybody, quick little note before we jump into the show here. So, the internet done goofed on us this week. So we record the show remotely, and for some reason we lost a bunch of audio from Jack's end of things, so had to chop pretty substantial bits out of the show this week. Does not seem like that audio actually exists anymore, other than in our collective imaginations. So, unfortunately, episode's a little bit choppy this week. We also lost a big bit where Jack finally got to see Spider-Verse, so he obviously loved it. So we talked about it for quite a while, but no longer exists, unfortunately. So, oh well. Here is the show. Enjoy.
What a beautiful day today, this morning, on January, well, I guess that gets a little touchy with time and how we do this since we're not live. But nonetheless, this is Comics Covered for the week of January 16, 2019, episode 60, not 16, 6D, 60.
Six and then a zero. Yeah.
Six-sided die. 6D.
Well, okay.
What?
Okay, sure. Well, it would be a D6.
Okay, well, give me a break. I'm sorry. Sorry I'm not perfect for you, Doug.
A piece of that.
What?
Six-sided die. What?
Okay, well, here on Comics Covered, other than Kit Kat bars, we talk about comics and the world around them, the comics industry, the comic movies, TV, games. We'll also talk spoilers, and we'll warn you about them. I'm Jack. That's my name. And I'm still somewhat new to comics. But I'm here with someone who is not.
That someone is me.
Yes.
It me, as the kids on the internet say.
What? It me?
They say, it me.
Huh.
Like on a picture, it's like, I don't know, it's a picture of a dog, and I'm just like freewheeling, inventing meme imagery right now. But let's say it's like a dog, and he's wearing a hoodie, and he's like lying in a giant pile of potato chips or something. And you, as a youth on the internet, say, "I'm gonna sneeze." They don't say that. They say, "It me."
I would love the idea.
Except
that
all of that, including the line before the sneeze, all of that in quotes. That is what they say.
Okay. Why a dog and potato chips?
No. I don't know. Jack, I said I'm freewheeling inventing an image right now.
I thought you were inventing it.
That's just an example. I don't know. It could be anything.
Okay. And they have to sneeze every single time, apparently.
Yes. You have to communicate that via your Twitter post or whatever.
Wonderful.
I was explaining to... I'm Doug, and I was reading comics before Jack. And I peer pressured him into doing it. I was explaining also to my fiance the other day, I wonder, you probably won't know this one either, the concept of, or I guess it's just a meme thing of calling things an absolute unit.
What?
So the structure is generally you go, in awe of the size of this lad, an absolute unit.
Is that
or just absolute unit? Is
that not a penis reference anymore?
In this context, it is just look how big that thing is.
But that
you say it about a person or about a big old cow or like a cat that's very fat.
So you're telling me that people don't think penis when they hear the word unit anymore?
I don't think anybody thinks of penis when they hear the word unit.
You really
have been
never...
using I've heard it in that context. It's not the first meaning that comes to mind.
Really?
Are you using the word unit to mean penis?
I don't use it. I just remember it being a thing where like a unit.
I don't think anybody uses that in that context anymore.
Okay, well, I'm old apparently.
Anyways.
It's not like anybody would remember.
Mm-hmm. I went down a know your meme rabbit hole, and also had to explain "Oh Lord, he comin'."
I have no idea what these are.
Which again sounds very sexual, but is just you put it on a picture of something very fat or cute, and is oh loud he coming.
Okay.
And it's like a picture of a cat coming around a corner.
See, my favorite thing recently has been Thanos memes. That's my big deal. I love that stuff.
You've been on that since Infinity War, and I will be surprised if you ever get off of it.
It's so funny. I don't know why. It's just great.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Well, Doug, tell me about your week, other than going down meme rabbit holes.
Well, yeah, other than learning about memes, my friend here had never seen Back to the Future before. He would make fun of it quite frequently.
What?
And do impressions of Christopher Lloyd and say whatever 1.21 gigawatts or whatever number he says.
But he'd never seen it?
But he never seen it. And
how
so
old is this
I was like, well, we have to watch this. He's near our age. He's like, I don't know.
Do you work with him?
28-ish? No, this is just a friend I know through. He goes to our trivia night at the bar we go to. Anyways,
okay.
So we watched it, and he definitely enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't know if if you're going to have the same experience watching it for the first time as an adult as you are watching that movie as a kid. But also, I forgot how much that whole movie is just about how uncomfortable it is that his mother wants to sleep with him the whole time. It's
a huge aspect of the movie, definitely.
It's a huge part of the movie. And I always forget just how huge it is. He's very uncomfortable.
It's not like, do you think that it's a passing comment or one scene or something like that?
Well, I always remember the first bit when he's in her bedroom or whatever, when he gets hit by the car.
Yeah.
And she's like,
spoilers for Back to the Future, by the way.
Oh, God. Spoilers for Back to the Future. Yeah, I guess. Sure, spoiler warning. I guess someone hadn't seen it, so fair game. But yeah, so I always remember that she tries to hit on him then and is looking at his underpants and stuff. But I always forget that throughout the movie his mom is super just on his shit.
Well, she's smitten.
Well, she's more than smitten. She's
absolutely infatuated,
trying to sleep with him desperately the whole movie.
I mean, honestly, it makes a lot of sense if you take into account us being attracted to people that look like our family in general. She was attracted to George McFly, but this person looks like George McFly and her mixed together. So theoretically, not.
I guess it's very uncomfortable. And yeah, so but that movie is still great. It's I'm
good.
going to make him watch the other ones because I'm excited to just watch the whole thing. Because that movie just ends with a big cliffhanger for the second one. But
I'm interested to see what he thinks of I don't know. I'm always interested to see what people think of the second one and the third one because they're such different kinds of sequels. The second one is very much an absolute part of the an absolute retelling almost of the first one in a way. But
recontextualizes the first one. I think it totally changes the value of it was really funny watching that first movie again, how much they play with what happened in that first movie, and how it affects the future and how it how they go back and even things happen during those scenes, and so it gives you this whole different angle on everything, and you notice things watching that first movie again after having watched the second movie, and knowing oh, that's kind of because of this, and that's because
but then also you have the third one, which is completely separate, basically.
Yeah, and also kind of in a lot of ways just it's just kind of the first movie again. I mean, they're all kind of retreading the same kind of events or whatever, but it's different. No, because it's about Emmett, it's about Doc Brown, not wanting to come back. Anyways.
Yeah, it's a little different. But yeah, I love those movies. I'm excited to hear what this person thinks of these movies. That's great. But Doug, do you want to get on into some news?
Let's do it.
Speaking of Spider-Man, we had a new trailer. I forgot this was this week, but this was Monday, wasn't it?
This just came out, a couple days ago. Or
no.
Was this? What day was
sure
this? It was January 15th. So I guess, it was a few days ago.
It was 2 days. Tuesday. Yeah. Spider-Man Far From Home trailer came out, and Thanos is watching it, and he's like, what? Yeah,
whatever. They have to market their movie. Apparently they had big pressure from Sony, who wanted to release a trailer before now even. But, it is it's a little disappointing that I had to kind of go this way in terms of, yes, people like you and me who, follow, movie industry stuff a little bit more than probably most people knew this was happening. But, I don't know, your average Joe person who just, will go see a Spider-Man movie if it comes out, but isn't, crazy into, following news in the industry and stuff, is probably wait, but didn't he die? So
I don't know. I mean, it was gonna happen some way or another. They needed to do it. So, I mean, I think the trailer is done really well to where it's the trailer looks great. It's a very different setting, and it's a very different, I don't know. I think the setting does a lot to, making it feel like it's not, spoiling too much for some reason.
Oh, I don't think it's, the only thing that I think it is spoiling, quote unquote, is that he's alive.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. That's basically where I'm going with this. But, it is just kind of, just a little bit sad that, they couldn't maintain that mystery. But, but whatever.
Whatever.
I'm glad we're getting another Spider-Man movie. So
Isn't it
whatever.
coming out in, July?
7... What's the 7th month?
July.
Yes, July. So, when is Endgame?
Endgame is April 26th. It's, the same, last week of April.
May, June, July.
It's, the same thing that happened with, they always have, an April May movie, a July movie, and a November movie, and a February movie, maybe. Actually, never mind. It doesn't always happen that way. I think now they're doing 3 a year.
They've been doing, 3 a year the last few years, and it's been, a spring movie, a summer movie, a fall movie-ish?
Yeah.
May-ish? But, anyways, trailer looks very fun.
Yeah! I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think we were both big fans of you really liked Homecoming, right?
No, yeah, I did. I really liked it. Okay. It was great. Because the best part of it is Michael Keaton. He is a godsend.
Michael, what are you talking about? Michael Keaton. I heard Michael Caine.
Oh my god. I was like, am I crazy? Then I was thinking, Michael Keaton. I always get Michael Keaton and Kevin Costner mixed up. I was like, was it Kevin Costner?
I also do, yeah. No, it was Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton was great in that movie.
God damn it.
But,
fuck you, Doug.
But I heard you say Michael Caine for some reason, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking? What is the joke you're trying to make right now?
Well, listen back to the tape and see who's wrong, who's crazy.
No, you definitely said Keaton. I was mixing them up for some reason.
All right. Michael Keaton is... he's one of my favorite villains in this entire MCU, and I hope that, I have a lot of faith in them to give Jake Gyllenhaal a lot to work with. Because this villain seems like it's gonna be great. I guess from the trailer, he's not a villain, but
he's a hero.
We all know.
Yeah, if you have any passing kind of knowledge of what Mysterio's deal is, do you have much kind of knowledge of what Mysterio's kind of deal is?
I think you told me, he is super into special effects, and his dealio was he was making these things look like he was doing these fantastic things and being a hero, but he was doing it for nefarious purposes.
It's not necessarily usually that he's making himself look like a hero, but it is that he...
disguising heists?
Well, yeah, it's that he is a criminal who uses, illusions and special effects and stuff. But the theory here, obviously, being that he's going to be doing almost like Syndrome in The Incredibles or whatever. Yeah. He's going to be, creating these false threats. This is my assumption. I feel like a lot of people... assumption.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Cool,
maybe it'll be wrong, but probably not. But
what if
he's faking these villains.
What if he's just a good guy? What if he's just
what if he's a good guy at the end of it? Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, so we had books this week. Mm-hmm. It was great. A monumental... a momentous occasion.
Okay.
A monumental occasion.
What is it?
Both? I had more books than Doug.
Well, you've had more books in the past.
No.
Yes, you have.
I don't think so. Not like this, at least.
I think you have had weeks where you've had like 1 or 2 books more than me. But this week you had specifically, regardless, you had how many more books than me this week?
I had 4 more books than you.
4 more books. Was it 4? Because I had one of my own. Are you sure it's not 3?
It's 3. You're right. Okay. Never mind. Maybe it wasn't that momentous.
That's still you've been kind of ramping up the number of books, and like whatever, like number of books isn't necessarily any kind of like, this isn't a if you're a good or bad fan based on how many books you read. But like, I don't know, it's just kind of fun that like, you know, a while back you weren't reading any comics and now you're reading a ton, like sometimes more than me, you know? I just think that's like, it's a cool kind of measure of like how much more you've gotten into the hobby.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, we had titles that we both read, such as Detective Comics number 996, Gideon Falls number 10, Invaders number 1, Justice League Dark number 7, Superman number 7. I have no idea if these numbers are correct because I was doing this from memory when I wrote it down.
You did all of them from memory? Okay,
yeah,
now I have to double check all of them.
Okay, well, the ones I'm not sure of are Justice League Dark and Gideon Falls. I'm positive on Detective Comics and Invaders.
You are correct on both of those ones. All right.
Fuck yeah, motherfucker! Okay. And then we also had Venom number 10. And I alone had The Bat Who Laughs number 2. I'm always going to call it that.
The Batman Who Laughs.
Until you
don't let them off the hook for that fucking thing that they fucked up royally. They can name that thing the bad version of that name, and you have to call it that every time.
Yeah.
The Batman Who Laughs.
It's better as The Bat Who Laughs. I'm very happy.
But you're letting them off the hook. All right.
I won't let them off the hook. No, here we go. Are you ready? I'm not letting off the hook because I'm going to drop this series.
Oh, yeah?
Just so you know. I would continue it if it was... which kind of makes me think I should just continue it. But no, I'm not going to. Because did you know that each issue is $5?
Oh, Jesus. Are they oversized?
No, not to my knowledge. The front cover is like that harder, like not floppy sort of thing. Sure. So I think that's how they're getting away with it.
It's a little bit more kind of prestige kind of presentation.
No, but fuck that. If I'm not getting more pages, I'm not paying more. And I guess I'll make sure that I'm not getting more pages. But honestly, if it was $4, I would continue the series based off of interest alone. But I'm not interested enough to pay $20 more to see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, that's fair. Like, if you're not, like if you're on the fence, that's definitely a factor.
Yeah. Like, I like it. I love the art. I think it's good.
It's fucking a jock. Of course it's gonna look amazing no matter what. But
yeah, I just don't care that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
dang.
Yeah, it's weird. Whatever. I also had Isola number 6, which is gorgeous, and Baby Teeth number 14, which Doug needs to read, and Black Widow number 1, which I'm continuing.
Okay, cool. I also picked up Amazing Spider-Man number 14, and we are going to talk spoilers.
Yes, I am.
Oh, we got kind of a weird little after effect noise there. All right.
I was actually thinking about those creatures that were in Justice League Dark that eat everything. And I was trying to emulate them.
The little chest burster aliens, but millions of them or whatever.
Yeah. God. In fact, do you want to just start with that issue?
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk about Justice League Dark.
Because there is, first of all, Mr. Bueno.
Bueno.
I love Mr. Bueno. There's just a lot in this issue going on, and I don't even know. I feel like I should read it again because I feel like there's a lot to take from it and unpack. What did you think of this? Of the sort of like episodic nature of this issue?
I thought this was a really fun, unique way to introduce the idea of this new conflict. Like, this is so different from like the traditional kind of setup we would get for a new. I don't know if this is the setup for a new arc or if it's just a setup for a new threat they're going to be facing. But like, I really enjoyed this. Like, you get a few different little, almost short stories that kind of all have in common this new threat that's kind of coming, like, entering their world. And you get a bunch of, like, cameos of, like, other dark mystical characters in the DC universe in it. Like, I really enjoyed this issue quite a bit. It's very fun.
I was a big fan. I think I need to read it again because I just feel like it's tough to get it the sense of as a whole in one reading, I think.
Sure.
I don't know. And also, I'm wondering, is this even a new issue, really? Like, is this a new villain? Because it seems like
no, I mean it's
using
it's the other kind. It's the guys that it's basically the people from the realm in which the I guess it's from the Dark Multiverse, I think it's something relating to that, but it's where the Upside Down Man comes from, and they made that weird deal where basically, like, they were going to, I don't remember what exactly the terms were, basically, but it's like they made this sacrifice that basically allowed them to defeat Hecate, but like,
well, they closed off Olympus. I thought that was what it was.
But there was some reason that they specifically brought up. However, they solved that was going to open the door to this other threat, and they were like, "We're going to take that risk because we need to stop this immediate threat." And so this is the Upside Down Man's kind of like kin coming, like, finally breaking through into our world to wreak havoc. Yeah, so that's what this is. But so it's not new. It's not a brand new idea, but it is them fully, like, kind of becoming an actual direct threat to Justice League Dark.
Definitely. But it's just like, I really like the craft in this issue, and it's such a great, like, oh, you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and they're all doing different things. Like, I don't know. I absolutely love Kirk Langstrom, and I want more time spent on him. I thought we were going to get more time spent on him in this issue, but I mean, there is a lot of time spent on him, but not like spent on, like, developing him, you know?
Yeah. I got super, kind of almost, fucking Ultra Comics vibes off of the Kirk Langstrom stuff in this.
Well, cause the whole idea is that they're making him tell a story that shouldn't be told, or something like that.
It's a very multiversity kind of thing with Kirk Langstrom in this Man-Bat, in this wraparound stuff where he's reading he's been keeping record of these nightmares, quote, he's been having, which seems like they're actual things that have been happening. But and then over time he realizes, like, wait, have I not been writing these? I think there's also sort of an idea of, like, that because we're reading these stories, we are maybe opening the door to them coming into the real world in this weird way. I don't know if I made that up, or if that was a real idea that was in here. I'm trying to find.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. Like, I think what's really telling is that, you know, there's the clacking on the keyboard right at the beginning, and then Kirk Langstrom gets up, leaves, and there's clack in the last panel.
Yeah, but it's specifically, like, so he said he realizes that so that he hasn't been writing them, and he says perhaps these stories shouldn't be told. Perhaps I should burn them all. And he's talking to us, the reader, which is fucking weird, and I love it. I love the kind of weird, like, they just totally break the fourth wall in this issue. And you can't repeat what you heard here. Do you understand me? They want you to fear them, me to fear them. What am I saying? It's just words on paper, as the fucking Upside Down Man is directly behind him. So he's I feel like they're definitely implying this cool, like, meta multiversity-esque kind of idea of, like, by reading this, you have kind of opened the door for the other kind to enter the real world. And that's fucking cool. I love that kind of shit.
It really is. And honestly, it was an idea that was in Dark Knight's Metal too. Like, they were talking about how there are stories that should never be told.
Yes.
Like, I think Dream was saying that at, like, sometime in Dark Knight's Metal or something like that. So it is still, you know, has those effects from Dark Knight's Metal even now. So, I mean, as much as we weren't that big of fans of Dark Knight's Metal, I'm really glad that like some of the ideas have kept up.
The ideas weren't the broad ideas were not the weakness of Dark Knight's Metal. It was the execution of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking, we got Frankenstein and the agents and the creature commandos in this goddamn issue.
Oh, is that who they were? I knew Frankenstein. I didn't know.
They had it in a little caption here. It's his group of monsters he has with him. The Wolfman, the vampire, the mummy, and the fish lady are called the creature commandos. It's so fucking dumb, and I love it.
Do they have like a series or something?
They had a series that Jeff Lemire started in the New 52 called Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. And it was like, it was fun, but like not super substantial, so I dropped it. But I've always wanted to go back and read more of it because I heard good things about where it went. But anyways, they did the Animal Man and Swamp Thing back then did a big crossover, and Frankenstein was a part of that, and I never read that part of it, and I always wanted to go back and read more of him so I could get that angle.
Interesting.
But
is that also part of like Jeff Lemire's Animal Man?
Yes, it's part of Jeff Lemire's Animal Man and Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing, which are both excellent.
So should I read those in tandem?
It's weird. Yeah, it's almost like I would almost say like read up until that point in both of them, and then I don't know how you finish both of them, but like read the crossover and then finish each in turn. Much. It is, I know, and that's why it's kind of difficult to recommend doing it that way. It's hard because I read them in real time, so I didn't have that problem. I was reading them as they were coming out. It's hard to go back unless you want to read them alternatingly, but that's a big undertaking, I feel like, after the fact.
Yeah. I mean, also, before I read Jeff Lemire's Animal Man, should I read Grant Morrison's Animal Man first?
I wouldn't say it's necessary.
Really?
I would say, like, Grant Morrison's Animal Man is amazing. I just mean, like, specifically if you want to read Jeff Lemire's Animal Man, I don't think it's, like, you have to have read the Grant Morrison stuff, or vice versa, you know?
It doesn't, like, introduce concepts that I...
It does, but they also introduce them in the new one. Like, it's not like you're going to be missing anything, because it's the reboot, you know? It was New 52, so it was, you know, them kind of starting back from the ground up.
Okay. Getting back to Justice League Dark, also, I love Alvaro Martinez Bueno, and he's a beautiful man. I've never seen what he looks like actually in person, but all this magic shit, like curling around and everything, it's just so perfect for like what he does. I don't know. It's just so fucking cool.
Yeah. I'm looking at the iVampire stuff. That's what this vampire dude who's hunting vampires in the center, the center story, the middle story is, and it looks great. I love this fucking goo dude with all the body parts in him in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
God, he does some really cool body horror-esque art in this series. It's like just toes that line of like too gross, but also like really cool looking.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Love this shit. I'm so excited for every single issue.
It's an excellent. It's just an excellent book. Like,
yeah. Doug, what do you want to talk about next?
You seemed like you really wanted to talk about Venom, so let's talk about Venom.
Let's talk about Venom. This is my favorite issue of this series. Fucking love this shit. God damn it. I read somewhere that apparently, like, every single week you learn something else about Eddie Brock's history.
Yeah.
Like, people that read Venom, like, it's such like a not, his history apparently is not, like, focused on, I guess, maybe in the past. So when you get that little sprinkle, it just feels like you're always learning something, like, new, like, oh shit, that's okay, let's go with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the things I love about the craft of this issue is that there's such a difference between comics that like have these big sprawling stories where they go to different like little areas and give you little bit scenes from like each little area and they all go to one whole. This one is just all these two people talking, which gives me so much to go off of, like story-wise, you get so much, like, development and, like, ability to see what the whole situation is. I don't know. I felt so fulfilled after reading this. And, I don't know. Let's just set this up. So, Eddie Brock is in San Francisco. He was brought there, kind of unconsciously by the symbiote at first to see his dad. Then he went on his own accord. His dad is a shit. Punched him. And he found out he has a half-brother who approaches him and says, dude, we need to kill our dad. Is that about it? That's about it. So
that was the setup. That was the last couple issues. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about this, and, you know, we've had little sprinkles of, like, apparently, you know, his dad hates him because he got in an accident as a kid, and we were told that it was because he had to spend a lot of money with medical bills and stuff like that. But, and that didn't really make that much sense, I guess. And we learn here that, no, he was a fucking teenager or early 20s guy, and he was drunk driving and hit the fucking kid and killed him. And I just thought, that was just like, I had no idea that was going to happen whatsoever. Yeah. Did you have any idea?
No, I
just thought...
No inkling.
I just thought it was just like, ugh. And it makes so much more sense, and it comes together so much more, and I feel like I'm experiencing it along with this kid who's just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love this shit. I think it's really, really amazing. I love the art in this. I love how the crash is done on this page. Can you open up to it?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
You're on it. I love the craft of that page and how it goes and all the different little elements. It almost reminds me of Gideon Falls and how some of that panel structure works.
Yeah, it's chaotic in a way, and with all these little kind of close-ups of different small images in the scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And I love how it progresses to, like, he seems like he's going crazy, or he's not. I don't know, with the whole Null stuff at the end. He just shows up on top of that kid, but it looks like it's just I don't know, with all this memory implanting stuff that the symbiote's doing to him, I feel like it's just a way to get him to leave the situation somehow. I don't know.
Well, they say at the end, like, he's sick. He has cancer. So he's like, he's losing control. Like, his mind, I'm assuming it is in his brain if he's having hallucinations.
I guess so. Interesting.
Also, I feel like I noted to you in a text, this is a very, very tangential thing, but as long as I'm on this back part with the Maker.
Okay.
Have I mentioned to you that the fun little lettering trick that they do with Ultimate Universe characters?
No, is it a different font or something?
No, so look specifically, second to last page, there is a panel where they say, what is happening, what's wrong with Eddie, and there's
I see it.
a word bubble that comes from off panel. So, traditionally, in the Marvel Universe, all the lettering is all caps. When they made the Ultimate Universe, they changed to mixed caps, meaning that beginning of sentences, important words, whatever, are capitalized, but lowercase letters for everything else. And they kept that when they integrated Ultimate Universe characters into the Marvel Universe. So whenever an Ultimate Universe character, like the Maker, talks, and I think it works especially well with him, it's this little reminder that he's from a different universe.
Not in the right place.
And it's kind of, in his case, it gives him this weird, otherworldly, like kind of spooky feeling. And also, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun because me knowing that and knowing that he's in this book, I see that panel bubble from off page, and I go, "Oh, it's Maker!" immediately. You're recognizing his voice almost. You know,
wow,
it's cool.
That's really fucking cool,
right? Yeah.
Do they do that in... now I'm wondering if they do that in Miles Morales' Spider-Man.
That was something I was wondering. I didn't go back to check, but I'm wondering if they just dropped it for an all Miles Morales series or not. But I do want to go check. Or if they just do all mixed caps or what. I have no idea. But
that is so cool, though.
Anyways, it is really cool, but small note.
I'm so glad you told me about that. That's really, really awesome. Because honestly, for me, I thought it was just like a character. Like, I don't know if I noticed it, but... looking at it now, like, it also works with, like, his sort of character. Like, I feel like it gives him this weirdly, like, well-spoken sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it works specifically well in his case. Like, yeah. Anyways.
God, the Maker. I'm excited for him to be a bigger part. I want to learn more about him. I was also thinking like, I don't know if they're going for that dependency sort of thing. I was thinking like maybe the symbiote is making him see null because he's like getting closer to his family and he doesn't want him to get closer to his family necessarily. Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm curious where that's going to, I'm very curious what the metaphorical relationship to this cancer he apparently has is to this kind of like codependency storyline that they've been kind of going down. Because I feel like that there has to be a reason, like from a storytelling perspective, that he also has cancer here. What does that mean? I don't know. But, so I wasn't as bowled over by this issue as you were.
Okay.
I like the stuff in the diner quite a bit. I think the flashback stuff is very over the top in a way that I find very off-putting.
Interesting, like him beating the shit out of him?
Yeah, it's just like everything is the most cartoonishly grim version of what it could be. I feel like he didn't just get in an accident. He drunk drove and ran over a kid. And his dad isn't just a shitty dad. His dad is a fucking cop who in the police station beats the shit out of him and forces him to plead innocent. I don't know. It's just something about it is like without subtlety in a way that doesn't match a lot of the rest of the book for me and kind of reminds me of the stuff that I generally don't like in 90s grim and gritty superhero stuff.
Okay.
That this is kind of like building off of. And I have liked this series in general quite a bit because it's added depth to that. It has to a character who came from that. It's been like, what if we did like an actually like built out, more subtle, more emotionally kind of relatable version of that. And this issue for me in the flashback stuff, and maybe that was purposeful because it's a flashback.
What I was going to say. Like, what if that's the point?
Yeah, maybe that is the point. Because I do really like the stuff in the diner and maybe I do like that conceptually. It's just something about seeing it represented in this book in a more direct way than we've seen before in this series did kind of put me off a little bit. But I could see it structurally fitting that kind of role where it's like, this is the flashback, so it is the over-the-top, dark, like edgy, fucked up shit, you know?
Like you just said, you know, you are interested in seeing how that character, like, comes from that and building depth based off of where he came from, that sort of thing. And this is literally, like, showing where he came from, and it's, like, that sort of style. Like, I didn't notice that before. I noticed that it was definitely, like, a change of pace from, like, the diner, obviously. Yeah. But, like, I can see that concept. That's, honestly, that makes me like this even more. This book.
If it's purposeful. I'm not 100% convinced that it is. I could definitely see it being that. And reading it as that does make me kind of like it a bit more. But yeah, I think I just need a little more kind of time, and if they do more with this in the series, to see if that kind of idea holds up, that there is that contrast between them. But
you know what's interesting though?
Past and the present,
I feel like if it was going to go back to that sort of style that you don't like as much, I feel like, for example, you know, Eddie Brock would be more into the idea of killing their dad, you know? But he's not, because he's not that guy anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a sense of maturity in him that's very specific in this series, as it has been such far. I mean, maturity in some ways. And, well, that's a whole nother thing. But, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I really get the idea that that's purposeful, now that you're making me aware of that. Like, it was really a jarring thing. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I think future issues are going to determine kind of how I feel about this particular chapter in it. If it bears out that that there was a purpose to this contrast. But I don't know. Maybe they won't do more flashback stuff, so I'll just have to kind of mull this one over in my head. But anyways, yeah, I'm kind of torn on it. But I in thinking about that, yeah, I could see that being a purposeful, cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I just keep calling the Maker the Master too, by the way, with my Doctor Who stuff. I don't know why, but it's because I don't know that character as well.
Yeah.
It's close. Okay. Can we talk about Superman?
Yes. I am very curious to talk about Superman.
Okay. This might be my favorite issue of Superman.
It's great.
I love this shit. Also, I didn't flip I need to slow down, first of all. I need to never flip through issues that I know I'm going to read.
Okay.
Because the experience of me not flipping through this issue after looking at the cover, which is an absolutely different art style, and I was like, that's going to be interesting to see if they do it like
it's
that.
Ivan Reis.
I know it's Ivan Reis. I just thought the cover, I thought maybe they were doing a different art style for most of the issue because it was going to be a flashback or whatever. You know what I mean?
I mean, the flashback stuff is a different artist.
No, I know. I just, for some reason, I had the sense that okay, so maybe it's not going to be as good of art. Then I turn the page, and this first fucking page is
so good.
Goddamn pretty. Can't get over it.
I love there's something specific about the coloring that they've been doing in this
Shiny
book. It's who is it? It's Alex Sinclair, and how he's been coloring the sky. And maybe it's just the end of the last issue and this because they pick up on one another, but I love this fucking sunset look that he's been doing. It's so fucking pretty and not your usual Superman kind of sky image. You could have easily made this a blue sky thing, which would be a much more traditional Superman kind of iconography. Yeah. But there's something about this sunset that's so fucking beautiful. Anyways, small.
It's so, and the way it plays off the buildings, and honestly, I think they're drawn with such Yep. That's how I feel about it. I don't know. I open this page and it's just even with the words of them hugging after so long, and not I guess not as long as it was for Superboy. But I was wondering about you. I read that a lot of people think it was very lazy how Brian Michael Bendis just aged him up. What do you think?
I think that people are not seeing the forest through the trees here, in that comic book people have this idea that you can watch a comic book character grow and age, but that's never fucking happened. Okay? If they would allow time to progress and characters to change and things, that could be a thing. But the comic industry as a whole has never let a kid character just grow up naturally. Fucking John, specifically, has been the exact same age for the last, 8 years, or however long it's been since John debuted. He's been that age. He's been 10 years old or 9 years old or whatever he was supposed to be. And I want to see him getting older, and I don't think we would have gotten that without a jump forward. I want to see him grow up, and I don't think we would have gotten that without a jump forward. And I think that the way they're doing it here, we are going to see in snippets. It seems like this is the first issue of us seeing that intervening time. So we are going to get little glimpses of him growing up between then. So I don't think we're going to miss out on that. And I'm excited to see what he does with that. And also, part of the story and part of what makes this interesting and kind of impactful is that they're doing something with the fact that Superman missed that time. They're using that to emotional effect. So it's not lazy because they're not glossing over it. They're using that in a way that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise if we just saw him grow up.
He's not just back in there laughing over dinner.
He's not just back and they're just like, oh, he's older now, I guess. Like, his parents are, like, freaked out by it, and they're like, they feel bad that they missed that time. And yeah, I'm so curious to see where they go with this.
The other big complaint that I heard that I don't have as a complaint because I haven't been as into like Superman in the recent past or anything. They are still, I hear people harp on the fact that we know that Jor-El is absolutely insane. I don't know why you let your son go with him in the first place.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird thing.
They mentioned something, but that was something in Man of Steel. Like, that happened already. They already let him go. So we just have to see how, you know what I mean?
I feel like I didn't...
They mentioned something called the Oz effect.
Yeah, I didn't...
The Oz effect?
I didn't follow that story fully. And so I'm not really super familiar with all the stuff they did previously before Bendis started doing stuff with Jor-El. But I was under the impression they came to some sort of understanding at the end of that. And
that's what some people were saying.
I feel like he wasn't like fucking jazzed about sending him off, and that's also why they sent Lois with. You know, like it was like a begrudging, like, yeah, maybe this is a thing he should do to reconnect with his roots, but we're fucking watching you, dude. You did have to kind of suspend your disbelief a little bit, but I think that they're using it to good effect. I like what they're doing with him here, regardless what the past is.
Exactly. I think it's a good story nonetheless, and it makes sense within Bendis's run at least. And like, you know, continuity will be what it is. Like, sorry, bro, but this is a story for these characters, and it's a good story, and it's well written. Yeah. People were saying that it was written badly. I'm like, what are you reading?
That's so subjective, and a lot of people just don't like Bendis' style of writing. I think
it's because I really think it's not just from the writing. I feel like it's this overall experience that they're not breaking down. Like, exactly, like, is the scripting really bad? Or do I just not like what he's doing with the characters, so I think everything's bad?
A lot of people think, like, in a similar way to, like, a Tom King, they think that, like, the writing is unbelievable because it is... But it's almost like the opposite of Tom King, in that Tom King is so staccato and purposeful, and everything is so, like lyrical in a way.
Yeah.
Rhythmic and kind of poetic in that it doesn't feel real. Whereas Bendis writes naturalistic writing, which is not what naturalistic dialogue, which is not what most comic book writers write. They write, here's the idea, and we're going to give it to you in a clear and concise manner, whereas Bendis writes conversationally. Bendis writes people stopping and starting and interrupting each other and saying short little things back and forth to each other quickly. And
I love that.
It turns some people off, but to people who kind of like that, or who kind of like get what he's going for, I guess, more is what I mean. Like, I find it really refreshing and satisfying. And it's his particular style, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
Glad we got to do that. I love Superman these days.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think it has gotten really good in the last few issues specifically.
Yeah. This issue made me like say, like, I was originally going to tell Samantha that she should read Action Comics and not Superman. This issue kind of made me say, okay, she needs to read both.
I still, even though I know, like, they don't overlap directly, I still think they're better consumed together.
Yes. I agree completely now.
I'm very interested. How many, do you think this is going to be a two-parter, this flashback stuff? They call it The House of L Part 1. It's the Unity Saga, The House of L Part 1.
And then it says Father's Day.
Yeah, and so I assume we're going to get a continuation of this flashback stuff to John's time with Jor-El.
I would assume so. We're going to get like the back half of like when he's kind of getting a little weird.
So I assume we're going to get just another issue where he explains like kind of where it went bad.
Yeah.
But I also thought it was very fun in this issue how they like, in a way that's kind of almost unlike how John's been written, but like I get the purpose and I like it. He's written almost like they exaggerate how much like a kid he sounds in the flashback stuff in this.
Yeah.
Like he says very silly things that sound like a thing a kid would say, you know, that they think is funny, you know?
No, definitely. I totally feel that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Bendis' writing is fantastic in this series, and I'm such a fan. Like and the excitement that John has when he's like on a spaceship and stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, space fight," and like I don't know. There's just these little moments that are just like really, really cool. And I think like some people said that it was weird that Lois just left after one mission, but to me it felt like it was absolutely gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like it made sense with the story, and it made sense for her to do that. I think. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I could go either way on her leaving. I think it was a little irresponsible, but I don't know. I don't know. I could see it. I could see her thinking like I'm in the way here, but it's the bit where Jor-El is a bit of a wild card where like that starts to be a little questionable, but
yeah. At least he's alive, you know.
Yeah, he's alive, so like it's not like I don't know. Like anyways.
What if he just came back and he didn't have an arm?
Another fun little detail that I noticed this issue in a way that I have never noticed before for some reason.
Okay.
That apparently is just a thing that I've never noticed. Well, I have noticed, but like that I've never like really mentally put together.
Okay.
Lois has purple eyes? She does. And I looked it up, and I looked at old stuff of her going way back, and she just has purple eyes.
That's...
like her character does.
Huh.
So that's a fun little thing. Apparently it's, I think the idea is that so you can tell it's her, because she doesn't wear a superhero outfit. She's just another, you know...
black hair...
like in shape, a black-haired comic book woman, generally. Like,
interesting.
There's nothing particularly recognizable about Lois Lane. So they gave her purple eyes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that, I guess. Interesting. I never actually noticed that she did. I wonder if that was like an old school thing to like say she's a journalist, so I wonder if purple, like...
you know, how journalists have purple eyes.
Shut up. I don't know. Whatever. That's interesting.
John is like scoping out his mom in this one in a weird way.
What? Where?
There's a fucking... I don't think he does it on purpose, but it almost looks like he tried to cop a look at his mom. Lois is like... she thinks it's just a clerk, so she like...
oh, I see that,
like looking all revealing, and then John looks over his shoulder, and it's very funny. Superman like covers his eyes, but John is like smiling.
Well, I think the idea is that he's coming from behind her to surprise her. He hasn't seen her yet.
I don't think he's supposed to be smiling because he saw her, but
speaking of
there's something weird about it. Yeah, speaking of Back to the Future.
Also, I heard that Lois Lane, this is a historical thing where she's a bad speller.
Huh. That's funny.
Apparently that's just been a thing. She's terrible at spelling, which is really funny to me.
That's very funny.
So that's how you spell received. Like, come on, Lois. I have 4E. Except for after C is what I mean.
Yeah. This is a C. Anyways. Yeah. So, yeah, cool. The Superman it continues like a good streak here.
Yeah, really good streak. Really awesome streak. I'm really, really excited. I'm also excited, Doug, for this other series that we need to talk about.
Okay.
Invaders, #1, by Chip Zdarsky. You know, totally the same as every single thing else he's ever written, right?
Uh-huh. Just doing the same thing over and over again, that Chip Zdarsky.
Shit. How is this Chip Zdarsky?
It's not even remotely similar to anything
it's not even close to Marvel 2-in-1 in any way.
No! Like, this is...
it's so fucking good, though. Like, the intrigue they have into these... like things, the stuff with Namor, the stuff with all this shit, their history in World War II, like, fucking Christ.
What kind of hit me specifically about this book? So this is a book about the original Invaders team, which is Captain America, Namor, Bucky, the original Human Torch.
What's his name? Jim what?
Jim Hammond.
Jim Hammond.
And it's about them. It's flashbacks, but them in the modern day as kind of following up on some of the stuff that we read in Avengers, and I'm kind of glad we read that. At least the setup.
By the way, the setup there, which I was hoping for in Avengers, more Namor stuff. Fucking thank God I get it in here.
Yeah, what kind of I was going to say is like what really hit me about this is like this is giving me the intrigue in that kind of particular storyline that we weren't getting in the Avengers book. Like we're getting the kind of introspective character look here at Namor and at Cap and these characters, and kind of like delving into why is Namor like kind of going more against the surface world and like their relationship and how they feel like they need to help him even though he's kind of going evil and like why they would feel like that. It's really interesting, and I like it's night and day. I feel like looking at like how this plot point, this kind of idea is being treated in this book versus Avengers, and I know they're going for very different things.
Yeah,
but like this is so much more what I want out of that idea.
Oh, definitely. I'm so glad this exists. Like as a first issue, this acts. I don't know. This is one of my favorite first issues. Like this, I don't know, of ongoing series this year. Like I think it's an amazingly well done issue, and I'm so interested to see where it goes. Like all this Namor shit and him going fucking crazy. Charles Xavier.
Yeah,
like, what's the last
they
time he
dropped some
showed up?
fucking. I mean, he's been dead for a while, but the like little teases they put in here of like what is his fucking plan are so intriguing. Like I don't know. I don't know exactly why, other than like they just tease you with some stuff that you're like, oh, that's fucking weird. But what does it mean? Like, why is Charles Xavier there? That means something significant, but how is Xavier involved in this? Like, there's just, like the plot threads they set up here are just so interesting. And I'm so interested to see where they go. What is this stuff with this dude who used to be in the military working alongside them? Like whatever his weird secret is that involves Xavier. Why is his daughter or whatever, like trying to keep it from them?
Also, like, what is this dude that he's... Did you notice that this red-haired guy who's with him in the present day has the same colored hair as the Tommy in the back in the day World War II stuff?
Red-haired guy in the present day. Which bit is this?
Okay. So they're traveling to the Seablade people, and there's...
You're talking about one of the Atlantean people?
Yeah, who he's traveling with. The guy looks exactly like the guy that they were making a big deal about, like, that Namor was close with in the army, who they were at the burial for.
That is an interesting thought. I do think it's...
Let me give you more to work off of. 1 second. He splits the sea, right?
Yeah.
He's flying next to him. Is that a usual Atlantean ability?
I will point out, if you look at other pages, the Atlanteans all have red hair like that. But I think there could be something to this particular one.
I just think he's floating. He's, you know what I mean? They don't usually fly.
Oh, is that what you're saying? I mean, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Interesting.
I feel like it's a figment of his imagination. I feel like he's...
No, I don't think he's, like, hallucinating in any of this.
I don't know. They're talking about him
You
going crazy
always think there's a weird, like, people going insane element to all these stories. I don't think that's an element. Insane. They talk about how he's emotionally unhinged. They don't talk about how he's, like, losing his mind, like he's, like, seeing things. I don't think that's a part of this story at all.
Okay.
I don't see that. But I think he's just kind of, like, out of control. But I don't know. Like, there could be all sorts of reasons why that dude is floating.
Nonetheless, also, I want to take into account the art, specifically in the flashbacks, is absolutely amazing. I love the art in general, but I love the art in the flashbacks. Also, I'm sorry. another little thing that I noticed, on the dog tags, of the guy that died in the World War II thing with the red hair,
Okay.
it says Tommy Machan, Machan, and that's who he refers to as this guy in the regular, timeline.
His sidekick dude?
Yeah, the red-haired guy, Machan.
When does he call him that?
It's at the beginning, near the beginning, it says now. He says, "My lord, I heard screaming, are you?" It says, "Machan, my friend, it's just nightmares again."
Okay, so where are the dog tags then?
Dog tags are at the end, like the last page. The second to last page.
Okay, I'm trying to find that. Oh shit, it does say that. Interesting. Huh. So, there's some sort of familial relationship there, I would assume. Or, I don't know who this Atlantean dude is. I don't know if it's supposed to be...
Namor's the only one who interacts with him the entire time.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyways. Oh, I guess they do say who is he talking to there. Maybe he isn't there. You're right. No, yeah, he's not there.
Hardy har.
Yeah, because there's literally, if you look at the panel on the page before, he's talking directly to him, and then the next page is that image, but he's talking to no one.
I actually didn't even notice that. For some reason, I thought he was talking to the fish.
Yeah, I also, for some reason, thought he was talking, or didn't know he was talking to the fish, but, no. This is, that is definitely the implication here, is that dude does not exist, and he is imagining that guy who died. You're completely right.
So I wonder if we're going through like some sort of PTSD thing for him that's just rearing its head now. Maybe because Xavier was influencing him somehow to make him not remember something, but now that he's remembering
he was
it,
like helping him keep it balanced. Like he was like keeping him in control.
Yeah.
That definitely, if there is an element of like that he is mentally damaged like that could definitely be a role that Xavier was filling that he is no longer.
Yeah. I wonder, like, because Charles Xavier also had some nefarious purposes at some point, right? He's not always, like...
He's generally good.
The best. He's generally good, but sometimes he does things that he thinks are right.
Yeah.
Right?
He's not always 100% altruistic, but he's generally on the good side, Like he's...
I just wonder if he was partially manipulating him for, like... Because he thought that he wouldn't be able to handle something... But he could have, and it was kind of shitty for him to... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are just so many things that they can do with this.
I should note, in relation to Charles Xavier, is I believe Namor is a mutant.
Oh. What?
Let me...
They were, at the beginning, they were talking about how his mother was an Atlantean who... had sex with the human father, and that he was a half-breed, and that's why they didn't like him, the Seablades.
He's not. Maybe I'm making that up.
He could also be a mutant. Maybe that's why he can control water. Is that a thing? I don't know.
Maybe he's not. I'm not sure. But, he definitely, like, has had a lot of kind of connections to the mutants. Oh, wait, no. Atlantean mutant physiology on his Comic-Con page here. Due to Namor's unique Atlantean and mutant physiology. He possesses all the powers of most Atlanteans, such as breathing underwater and blah, 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 blah.
You say he can control water, like, because of that?
I think that's maybe why he can control water. But yeah. Yeah, they call him... This page definitely refers to him as a mutant power. His mutant power are the wings on his ankles, which allow him to fly. And his greater degree of strength. So I'm not sure why he can control water, but anyways.
I never noticed the...
Have you not? That's a thing with him. He has little wings on his ankles.
I wonder if they flap.
I don't know.
If he's flying, they must, right? Why would he have wings? Just take them off.
Well, they're part of him. There is mutant power.
Yeah, but like... It's just funny to think of. I hope that if Namor is in a movie someday, we get flapping wings while he's flying. But yeah, no, just an amazing showing by Chip Zdarsky, showing that he can do stories that are fucking out of this world, that are different.
Yeah, and not like 2-in-1 still was kind of like a bit of a romp a little bit. Like it was still even though it was like doing a lot of great character work, it was also like a bit of a like, oh, these guys are going on a fun adventure, and like there was a lot of comedy in it. It was more in the dramatic direction than most of his stuff, but like still kind of with an anchor there. But this is just just a really fucking good drama story. Like there's, and not that this is a measure of quality or anything, but like just as a note that it's very different from his normal stuff. There's very little. I'm trying to find even an instance of humor in this.
I was gonna say you'd be hard pressed to find any. Like it goes from depressing war setting with him, the motherfucker dying, and God, I just realized that this whole beginning sequence is him like learning about this Tommy guy's death and him looking like really fucked up from it. God. Yeah. And like he like doesn't want to go into the water because I think he's like Cap's like tried to force him to drink water because he's not doing it because he doesn't want to be there or something like that. I don't even know. But yeah, shit is crazy. Shit is not funny, and just do all the shit Chip Zdarsky. I'm so excited for Daredevil now too. Yeah, now that we have a little bit more of an idea.
Yeah, I mean he's shown like he can he's so versatile. Is kind of the big thing we've learned in the last year is like he can do goofball stuff, he can do really good drama stuff, he can do stuff that kind of occupies that space in between. He kind of adapts to whatever the needs of the story is, and that's not something that I would have ever expected from him, and he writes the shit out of all of it, and I'm always so taken aback at it, and I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Where his whole career goes really after this like change. Yeah,
I really hope that Daredevil book is great, because I think that could fucking turn him into a superstar for real. Yeah. Like he's writing Captain America and Namor and stuff here, but like it's kind of a weird side book. But in the same way that like 2-in-1 was about big Marvel characters, but like not the real book, like him writing the fucking Daredevil book, that's a big deal if it's great,
That's a run, that's like his own thing. It's not like some limited series or anything like that. Like I don't even know if this is going to be a limited series. It sounds like it's going to be.
This like, one, Invaders?
The way the story, the way the story is progressing, I feel like
I think this is going to be is going to be a 6 to 12 issue thing. I think.
I love 12 issues of this. I feel like it's gonna be 6. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like a 6-issue mini. But
yeah, Daredevil. I hope he just goes full force. Because honestly, like I know Daredevil. Well, okay, wait. Daredevil is usually pretty brooding, right?
Yeah, but there have been other like Mark Waid's run on it was lighter, a lot more comedy. But like generally, yeah, he's a brooding kind of not Batman, but like in that kind of vein,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm super interested, super excited. Doug, do you want to talk about any of the other books we got?
What else do we have left here?
Detective Comics and Gideon Falls.
So they again introduced another important character from Batman's past that you probably didn't know about, other than maybe hearing the name before.
Liam Neeson.
Sort of, yeah. They kind of like amalgamated in Batman Begins Ducard and Ra's al Ghul in that movie. But Ducard in the comics is kind of one of Batman's trainers. He like trained him to be like a fighter and a detective. He fucking gets killed in this issue like Tompkins. What is her last name? Leslie Tompkins died in the last issue. I'm
still interested to see where it's going. It's just like,
are they gonna kill another one next time?
What?
Are they gonna kill another person next issue?
I don't know. I guess so, right?
Also, I do not know who this Mr. Miracle character is at the end.
Miracle Man.
No, he's Mr. Miracle, they say. Oh, they do say Miracle Man, but I think He's in a Mr. Miracle outfit.
Yeah, it looks like it. He said Thaddeus.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know
I
who
have no
that
idea.
Doug, you're the veteran.
I don't know. It's a Mr. Miracle from some point. There have been like one or two other people who have like worn the costume. Mr. Miracle Thaddeus. I'm gonna look it up. Anyway.
Thaddeus Thawne. No, that's a Flash guy.
Anyways, I don't know. But
okay, I mean, yeah, we'll just see where it goes. I mean, I'm still interested. I still like it. I still love the art. I don't really know what the point of him going to fucking Arkham was. I guess it was just to show that he was, mad.
Yeah, what did he find out? He came back and he said
He didn't find out anything.
Well, he said like basically like someone got to them and is scaring them from saying anything, and he said that tells him something.
It didn't seem like they were scared of that.
That was, I guess, the point.
It seemed like they were scared of him, I thought.
He said because they refused to tell him anything, that he was claiming that was because someone got to them. I don't know that was obvious to me, but
yeah,
that's what he said.
I don't know. We'll see. I still like the craft behind every issue. I just want to learn more at this point.
So the monster thing that was a bunch of his villains, that was supposed to be the same weird tar monster from the last issue? So. Is that the implication here? That's what he seems to be saying.
Yeah, which then makes me weird about, like, the Zorro guy. Was the Zorro guy the same thing? Was the Zorro guy just the person?
No, I think that was something else. I think that was the dude, whoever's causing this.
I don't know. I just want to be learning more than I am. Like, I love the mystery and building up, but I just feel like the mystery is still the same thing. It's just people are dying. So we get it. People are dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What if it's fucking Hugo Strange?
Why?
Because Hugo Strange is a character who historically has been obsessed with Batman and learning about Batman's psyche, and what makes him tick. And then also, the origins of Hugo Strange, outside of him being a psychiatrist, was he was originally a mad scientist.
Okay.
And they had kind of brought that back a little bit this last year. I think it was this last year. Maybe it was a year. Maybe it was 2 years ago. An event called Night of the Monster Men, where he made a bunch of crazy hybrid monster people that attacked Gotham. So
when I heard,
yeah, like someone who's like finding all these weaknesses in Batman, all these like of life events that he's like torturing him with.
Interesting. I'm wondering, when you said, like, he started as a mad scientist, but then became a psychiatrist, I'm imagining sitting down in, like, a psychiatrist's office, and then, like, hearing him say, like, oh, yes, in my early days, I was a mad scientist, but then I went into psychiatry, and I found it much more fulfilling.
It was more of a creative reinvention.
No, I know.
Than he made a change.
Like, it's on his resume, like, mad scientist, psychiatry.
Previously worked at mad scientist.
God. But yeah.
Why is Grundy in Arkham?
That's a good question. Honestly, why is it so easy for Batman just to beat the shit out of Grundy? Isn't he kind of a...
Well, he did. I mean, they imply that he doesn't fight. He's the one character he doesn't fight.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
You hurt Grundy hurt you, and then in the next panel, when everyone's all beat up, Grundy's just standing there.
That's right. No, I guess you're right. I mean, yeah, I guess so. And then, Gideon Falls just continues to be amazing. I don't know what to say about Gideon Falls. It's just so good.
It's just
Read
still
that
great.
book, everybody.
We finally got the two main characters, Father Fred and Norton Sinclair.
First meeting.
Yeah, have finally they finally are on a page together. They finally interact. And the weird ways in which their lives are kind of mirroring each other is fascinating in this.
Oh, yeah.
And Norton is probably not actually Norton Sinclair, it seems like. Like that name
it's a name he took on when he got stuck in the barn or something.
It definitely seems like he is probably this missing kid.
And so Father Fred should recognize Norton Sinclair because he got that picture of him, some random picture of him, right?
But he was only a kid, wasn't he?
No, he had a picture of him and he said, "Who's this?" And he had the mask on and he was an adult.
That's right.
Found it under the floorboard somewhere.
That's right. Interesting. He says, "Who the hell are you?" at the end, though. But anyways.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm pumped. It's
Oh, speaking of which, there was not of which. Sorry, I was just remembering a thing from Batman. or from Detective Comics. There is an ad in here for a thing that I didn't realize was a thing until I saw it in a bunch of ads this week and maybe last week.
Talking about the Batman Flash thing?
Yeah. It's a Heroes in Crisis tie-in.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that means. Also, I'm really interested in the art. The art kind of reminds me of, like,
it's Chris,
Manhattan Projects.
It's Chris Burnham, who's definitely in that kind of style, but he did, you read Nameless.
Oh!
He's not doing the art in this series, according to this little ad here, but he did do this cover.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to read it, because I don't like Josh Williamson that much. I'm
reading Batman, so I'm probably just going to pick up these issues of Flash to get the whole story. But yeah, I'm really curious what a tie-in to Heroes in Crisis means. I think I know who this shadow of this character is. Someone from Tom King's run of Batman.
A new character kind of thing?
It is a character from a new character who was from his run.
Okay. So maybe I'll let you should just get it, and you should just tell me.
I'm very curious if this particular character, who I'm pretty sure I know who it is somehow secretly involved in the killings. But
when does it say that it's coming out? Is that, like, soon?
It says a tie-in event beginning in February.
Oh, wow.
So it's coming out soon. It's only 4 parts.
Interesting.
So
you'll have to tell me what it adds, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll...
Yeah, it's 2 issues of Batman and 2 issues of Flash.
I'm just... reading everything I've read of Josh Williamson just really turned me off, but then again, I might have been turned off because I didn't really get the stories. All that Flash stuff was tough to get into.
You kind of jumped into that one a little bit in a way that was probably very... But, I don't know. I like Josh Williamson enough. He can write a fun book. His scripting is not his strength.
Okay.
But he can write a good story.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm gonna give it a chance, mostly because I'm probably gonna pick up those issues of Batman anyway. So I might as well just get the other 2. But
yeah, I got you.
Anyways,
okay.
Very curious.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I think that's it for me. Let's talk about next week. Next week we have some exciting things. We have Cover, which is getting towards the end of it. It's either 5 or 6. I forgot.
Not sure.
Do you want to look that up while I say the other ones? Okay. We have Guardians of the Galaxy by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw coming out. So goddamn excited for that. God damn it, I'm so excited.
This will be issue 5 of Cover.
Okay, so we have one more of that series. Okay, but yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy #1 next week.
God, I'm so very excited. Did you see the preview that they put out? I didn't read it, but I glanced at the pages.
No, I didn't. Was it great though?
I mean, it looks great.
I'm so excited. That's probably like the thing I'm most excited for this entire year.
I'm definitely so excited for that. That is my most anticipated thing for this next week for sure.
Then we got Freedom Fighters #2, which I'm interested to see like kind of where they continue to go.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like on the, this issue's kind of gonna be the deciding factor.
Yeah, definitely for me. I wasn't super impressed after that first issue, but
I liked it. I just, it needs to give me a little bit more, I think. I don't know.
I was kind of in the same place that I am with a lot of Robert Venditti books after reading the first issue, and like, I like parts of this, and also I feel like it could be better. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We have Immortal Hulk, which I'm interested to see, like, what happens every single time. Just excited. We have Justice League. What are they doing right now? They have the whole Hawk World thing and the whole fucking Starman shit. Yeah. They have a lot of shit.
A lot of things
going on. I wonder if there's any Legion of Doom issue, because we haven't had one of those in a little bit, have we?
Yeah, they're doing them, every, 6 issues or something, I feel like? I don't remember.
I thought it was less. I don't know.
Maybe
we have Shazam #2 also by Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham. So
yeah, that one's also a little bit on the fence for me. I really hope I like this issue more.
I have a feeling it'll be better this issue, because we're going to get more of an introduction into, they found that whole station.
Yeah, I think we're going to get more superhero stuff in this one, as opposed to more of their home life, which was the part that was a little bit much for me. But,
yeah. I liked how he writes kids, and I thought it was really, really fun and cute, but
it was just a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way that...
Well, yeah, there are going to be a lot of kids this entire time.
Well, yes, but maybe it'll be a little bit more mixed with some fun adventure stuff.
Like, their interactions to, like, magical shit and evil shit going down, I think will be really interesting, I think. But we'll see if they do that. And then we have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #2.
Wait, is that twice monthly?
It must be twice monthly, because that just came out.
That just came out last week.
Yeah.
Goodness. Wow, okay, interesting. That
I'm down.
maybe influences my desire to read it in a slightly negative
Why?
light. Cause I don't know that I want... Well, okay, I'm dropping Miles Morales. So
you
maybe...
are? You decided on that?
Yeah, I don't think...
Why? What was the second issue like?
It was fine.
Okay.
It was good. I don't know that I love Saladin Ahmed generally. I really liked that Black Bolt book, but
it's very different from everything else I've read from
it's
him.
Very different from, it seems like his normal mode of writing that I've read and everything else, which is like, I tried that Exiles book. I tried this. I like conceptually a lot of the stuff that he's doing. It's all just it's a little jokey for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite, not that I need everything to be deadly serious all the time. Like, I love comedy in my books, but it was just a little bit on the other edge of how light, how silly I want things to be in my superhero
it didn't
books.
feel like there were stakes.
Yeah, it felt a little bit light, but I don't know. I'm just not invested enough to keep reading it. It's a fine book, but
yeah.
But
you're saying Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, maybe
I just I guess if I'm dropping Miles, maybe I'm definitely going to pick up at least the second issue. But
is the idea that you don't want a Spider-Man book every single week?
The idea is that, like, I already have a Spider-Man book, and I don't know that I need to. I don't know that I need a Spider-Man book. I guess like almost every week. You know,
I mean, basically,
that's going to be 3. That's going to be. Is Amazing Spider-Man twice a month or is it once a month? I don't remember. Anyways,
like it is.
At the very least, it's going to be 3 weeks out of a month, which is a lot. But
yeah.
Anyways,
I don't know. It was really good, but you know what? I like comics. Comics are fun. They're great things.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
Great.
About that. Oh, this week I got X-Force. I just wanted to say it. I'm so excited to read it again.
You got Uncanny X-Force, the Rick Remender book. So wait, so is that the whole thing, or is it the first bit, or what is it?
There are 2 volumes in this complete collection of Rick Remender's thing. So I got both volumes.
Nice. That's awesome.
So fucking pumped. Oh, God.
I just recommended that book to someone. I can't recommend that book enough. It is like, I don't have a ton of experience with X-Men stuff in general, mutant stuff, but like, it is my favorite. My favorite thing of the stuff I've read. It is one of my favorite comics. It's so fucking good. It's the thing that made me want to read everything Rick Remender ever does.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Understandably so. But in any case, that is gonna do it for this week, I think. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We are still pretty new. 60 episodes in. We're pretty new.
We're only just over a year in. That's like, in the grand scheme of things, like, that's still fairly new.
Exactly. We're still pretty new, so the absolute biggest thing you can do for us is, if you like the show, is give us a review or star rating on iTunes. It's pretty easy, so please do that. If you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or your mouse. You can squeak a little bit and be like, look at this guy.
Wait, that was the mouse?
It's a mouse.
Oh, wow.
Get some WD-40 on that. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back next week, or better yet, subscribe to the podcast feed and never have to think about it.
You can do that on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Google Play Music. Jesus.
Oh. May God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, don't you put your witchcraft on me.
Do you say thank you when people say bless you?
No.
Thank you! No, I never say thank you. And, what is it? Samantha's brother literally said to me, like, you're welcome. Wait,
you got shamed for not saying thank you
just
after someone said bless you?
Well, I feel like people in, like, deep down do that anyways. He just thought it was funny that I never say thank you, and he noticed that. So that's why he did that. He wasn't actually giving me shame. But I explained to him my position, and everybody always tells me, oh, it's like when someone holds the door open for you.
No,
you
it's
say,
not.
Thank
It's
you.
nothing. It means nothing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not crazy. I'm like, holding the door open for me is something that helps me and that burdens you in a minor way. You saying bless you to me doesn't help me, and it doesn't burden you, except for by your own choice.
It's become this weird, cultural thing where, people, think you're it makes you a bad person if you don't say bless you to people when they sneeze. But I don't know. I'm not a fucking religious person, and it doesn't mean anything. And, people think it's rude when you don't say bless you to them when they sneeze. And I'm not going to do it. No, I don't believe in it. And it's not just a cultural practice that I'm just going to do because people do it. It doesn't mean anything. You sneezed is fine. Everything's fine. You don't need help. What?
It's a thing that happens.
Yeah, people sneeze. I don't say anything when you cough. I don't understand the difference. I don't know.
I feel so validated, Doug.
Anyways, oh my god, we just got really sidetracked. You can find our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Google Play Music. We are on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio. I could list the platforms forever. Whatever podcast app you prefer, we've got you covered. God damn it! I literally, you got to give me a minute. It was a dramatic pause, so I could get up right up to the mic. All right, I'm gonna do it again.
I'm sorry.
Let me do it. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. Covered. In the meantime, before the next thrilling episode of this show, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. That is at Comics Covered on Twitter, Facebook.com/Comics Covered. We post some stuff on there, mostly on Twitter. You've been doing some stuff on our Reddit as well. I feel like.
Oh yeah, I post every week, I think.
Cool. So yeah, you can find us on those platforms. You can find web archives of all our episodes at our podcast provider, which is Libsyn. So that's comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN is how you spell Libsyn. And we've got also archives of those on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. They are video versions that are not video versions, so but you can listen to them in a web browser. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media, Facebook or Twitter. Maybe we will get back to you. So thanks again for listening. I'm Doug.
I'm a sneeze that you need to bless, and this has been Comics Covered.
I refuse to bless you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.